Thank you for joining me on this sacred journey in the sacred treehouse. My name is Dr. T. Welcome to this sacred space. Today's message came through strong after the full moon, April's full moon. So I believe April 12th, April 13th. Um, it was due partly because of the intense energy that came through for me. Now, after listening to those who because I subscribe to spiritual channels and, I listen to a lot of esoteric and spiritual messages and spiritual teachers. Um, those who are really in the astrology realm talked about the intense energy. However, usually I, try to do my rituals, my moon rituals. It could be something as simple as writing my intentions down, doing a fast, anything like that. However, even after these messages, I didn't do a ritual. I really didn't feel compelled to. And then I had been out of town. So it's kind of difficult doing your norm when you're away from your space. However, the moon showed me that she was coming through. So no matter what I heard, who I listened to, the firsthand experience um, is what compelled me to give this message. And the message that came through, it really made me think about what the full moon represents. The full moon represents, or the moon in general, represents intuition, and it represents those things that's hidden. And this full moon in particular brought a lot of things up to the surface for me that I thought I had healed. And it made me think about others who could potentially be going through this as well. And it was very intense. And I went on a little emotional roller coaster. But through my wisdom and my studying, um, I knew how to try to navigate this. Whereas before, I would not have known how to do it, and I probably would have acted more out of my emotion. However, I knew to take a pause and take a few steps back in order for me to be able to process this. And once I was able to process it, the one thing that came to mind was graduation day. Was this card right here? The spirit told me to deliver the message that it is time to level up. It is time to take the lessons that you learn and the wisdom that you acquired and move forward to create the life that you desire. That was coming through really strong. So much so that when I got home and I came back to my backyard, I have a blackberry tree back there. I went to go pick the blackberries and I was just out in nature. Really beautiful day today. Sun is out, the wind, a perfect spring day. And it was a reminder to lean into the sweetness of life and also to stay focused because things are going to happen in life. It's going to be ups, downs, no matter what. As long as you are living and breathing, things are going to happen. But it is definitely your reaction to it. If you haven't heard that before, it is your reaction to it. Now, with maturity um, and allowance, you tend to respond differently because, and when I say allowance, I would say maturity, self-awareness, and self-actualization, you tend to respond differently because you start to realize, why am I wasting all of this energy being upset, angry, mad? People are going to do what they want to do in terms of people are who they're choosing to be. So I don't believe in the phrase, "Oh, you know, such and such. That's just how they are." So that's true to an extent. We get to choose who we want to be in every moment, each and every moment. You get to choose that. That is a fact. You get to choose how you want to respond. You get to choose what you want to eat. You get to choose what you want to wear. Therefore, you get to choose how you want to show up in the world, and you get to choose um, who you want to be. Now, with that said, the most overarching theme of this message is about unearthing the things that need to be healed, and need to be illuminated so we can move forward again and create the life that we desire. So I want to first start with the um, the blackberry tree. So at the first start of spring, I saw the little buds on the tree. They're green, they're tiny, and I was like, "Oh wow!" I can't believe it. I'm excited about the blackberries um, blossoming and coming, to life, so that I can enjoy them. And so life. I got busy, work and things like that, and I hadn't got behind my house to pick the tree. I mean, to pick the berries from the tree. But after the intense energy that I just came through with the moon, my response was I need to get out in nature. I need to step back, as I mentioned, breathe, take some time, not have any thought other than I want to pick the berries off the tree. And that's what I did. And this created space for me, for this message to come through that I'm sharing with you right now. And also, it created space and distance between the drama, the thoughts, and things that come along when you have come along with your challenges. Um, and that space brought me peace. And I just thought, why is it that we want to focus on the negative so much that we forget about how sweet life can truly be? Because when you get through all of the fray, all of the noise, it is an opportunity to really live life and experience. I don't even know if living is the right word. It's to really experience life. And so my message to you today is that though there will be challenges always, no matter what, long as you are in this physical body, there will be challenges. You have to remember that um, every subject is two subjects. It truly is. You can either choose to wallow in the negative and the challenges, or you can choose to move forward so you can graduate. This card is so timely right now as well because it is the springtime, and it is time for um, high schoolers and college students. It's time for them to graduate, some of them, right? The seniors. And we get to see and celebrate them when they walk across the stage, but rarely do we know what they've gone through to get here. So, what you've gone through to get where you are. Acknowledge that, but don't stay in it. It is time to celebrate so that you can move forward. I'm going to keep saying this, to create the life that you desire. If you've been feeling like, why do these things keep occurring or, reoccurring in my life? If you've been feeling that way, this message is for you. This message is to tell you that acknowledge all that you've gone through, all of the challenges. Acknowledge it with love. Don't stay in it, as I just said. It is time to move forward and celebrate your life. This is your graduation day. Stop taking the same courses over and over again. Stop flunking out. um, remember, C's get degrees. So even if your life is a little messy, it's okay. Life can be messy. It can be messy. But if you want to master your life It's time to turn the pages on this book. I don't know what that looks like for you. I don't. You have to find a solution to that. But it's time to turn the pages on the story that keeps repeating itself over and over again. The moon came to highlight that for you, to illuminate that, illuminate the darkness. Um, uh, yes, illuminate the darkness. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be a victim of it. It is just time to recalibrate. It's time to plant new seeds. That's all that it means. So I'm going to circle back to my story about the tree. So as I continued to look at the tree, and I was like, wow, look at all of my beautiful blackberries. I got my harvest now. I picked a bowl of, big bowl of them. And natural blackberries, they're really small. They're not huge like the ones in the store, but that's another story. Um, I started thinking about the fact that this tree has gone through so much, from winter time to harsh summers, harsh winters, harsh summers, sometimes lack of rain. No telling what else. Birds picking on it, squirrels running. I don't know what all the tree has gone through. But no matter what that tree goes through, every spring it produces those blackberries. It does not whine or cry. It produces those blackberries. Every spring is it's an opportunity for a fresh set of blackberries. Every spring, the tree turns the page on the book of what it went through, and here's your harvest, your graduation day. It's your harvest. No matter what you've gone through, continue to keep that in your mind. I can't, the tree didn't say, you know what, the wintertime treated me bad, the summertime treated me harshly. I'm not giving you any blackberries. The tree still produced. Therefore, it is time for you to produce whatever it is that you need to produce. And you need to find the tools to help you to move forward in your life. So 2 decks of cards came to my mind as I was preparing for this. The Sacred Destiny. Love, love, love this deck. So let's get the message from the Oracle deck. What does the Spirit need you to know specifically? What is the specific message to my message, or the confirmation to my message, right? Let's see. What is the confirmation to my message? Confirmation, Spirit, give us confirmation. Oh, wow. At the bottom of the deck, this is kind of timely too, because when you graduate, the opportunities are boundless and you start a new adventure, right? So adventures. All right, and I believe every time I look at the bottom of the deck, I just think about, oh wow, and I just noticed this too. Birds. You see the birds? Birds represent freedom. They represent sweetness as well to me. They represent your voice, because birds give us the sweetest songs. If you stop and listen, they give us the sweetest songs. So I just think about this adventures. It's time to allow yourself to spread your wings and go out there, explore, right? All right. So voyage. I need to look in the book about what this means. But every time I look at whales, I think about wisdom, and I think about love, and I think about the depthness, like the deepness of our emotions. And then with this card, this whale is carrying, looks like a mother whale is carrying a baby whale. So let's see what voyage means really quickly, because I want to make sure. I've gotten this card before, but I can't remember the details of the message. So that's what I wanted to give you the details. Get ready. You're about to embark on a journey. It might be an inner sojourn or an outer voyage to a distant land. It may be a project or idea that is coming to life. But most certainly, you are an intrepid traveler sallying forth into the unknown. So this is connects with adventures. Where do you want to go? What have you always wanted to do or be? Okay. This is confirmation. I was just saying it's time to move forth. You need a new story. This is the time to make it happen. Get prepared. Have a clear vision of what you want to experience, but also be prepared for the unexpected. That is part of the exhilaration of being a traveler. Remember to enjoy the journey as much as reaching the destination. Graduation day. Perfect. Security. This card, it is basically saying you've checked all the boxes, right? I got my seatbelt on, check. I paid my bills, check. I've done this, check, 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 check. Once you've checked all of the boxes, it is time to let go. Once you can do what is in your control, let the rest fall into place, because it will. You don't need to be a control freak and try to control every single outcome. Just know that you are protected. This is a protection card to me, and you're secure. Everything is everything is going to be fine. Just do what you can on your end. So don't um, let the fear of not being protected, not being safe, get in the way of you embarking on your voyage and your adventures. Because what's next, gateways are opening, doors are opening for you. So when I look at these cards, I'm picking up that whatever fear or anxiety that you've been feeling, and if there was any intense energy that came up for you during this full moon, it is time to look at that fear and the anxiety and ask yourself a few questions. The first question is this true? Is the fear of going to a new job or going to a new state or making this decision about my family or whatever, um, can I be 100% certain that that's going to happen? Am I 100% certain that, if I do this, this will happen? Because the mind can play tricks on us, because the mind is operating like a computer. It's calculating everything, but it's pulling just from our past experiences, right? And from the past experience, now it has created a program or a story or a narrative that is telling you this is what's going to happen or is projected to happen in the future. But the only difference between, now our mind is not just powerful, it is intelligent. But the only difference between a human mind and an animal mind is that we let our logic sometimes trip us up, because we get in the way of the infinite possibilities. There's so many possibilities going on. We get in the way of it because we stop it with our fear and our anxiety. So none of these are basically saying just take a leap of faith, just run, go. They're saying prepare yourself, get ready. You're about to embark on a voyage. Do what you need to do on your end. Don't let fear hold you back once you've checked all of your boxes, because you're protected, right? Also, through your adventures, if you had a bird's eye view, you could see more. So the spirit is telling you, I'm going to give you what you need, the foresight that you need, not the logical foresight, the spiritual foresight. So also still listen to your intuition, but try to discern whether or not, that's the other question. Ask yourself, is this my intuition or is this my fear? So is my fear of doing X, Y, and Z, is that 100% correct? Next question. Is this my intuition or is this my fear? So I would ask myself a series of questions. And then next, the spirit is saying, there is a gateway opening. There are a lot of opportunities that are opening for you. And it's a gateway. The gateway represents the spiritual part with your intuition. Again, leading you. So I am merely a vessel speaking. This is the message that came to me to share. But you ultimately have to listen to your intuition. Okay, let's read Gateway really quick. Magic is afoot. Wondrous events are unfolding. Profound revelations and inner illuminations, the full moon, I just said, illuminations are close at hand. It is now much easier to manifest your dream. So this is the time things are opening up so you can manifest your dream. This is an excellent time to take action on your visions for the future. Don't be afraid. You can't take the action because you're secure. All of the stories and the narratives that you've been saying in your head, that's what's holding you back. So a small amount of action now will generate much bigger results. Again, you don't have to take a big leap of faith. Spirit gateways to spirit are opening, and there are places where the veil is especially thin. Wonders are blossoming in your life. Watch for them. Open your heart to the hollowed, holy, magical energy. The more you become aware of the small marvels in your life, the more they will grow in magnitude. And this made me think about even me picking the blueberries. I just said I need to get out, and I need to take some breath, and I start appreciating, the tree bringing forth the berries for me, and just being outside and listening to the kids play and being out in the beautiful sun. Just a sense of peace came over. Then I got a phone call that felt really good, and then I came in and I had an idea, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to record. Everything will start falling into place, and you are okay. I'm telling you right now. All right, next deck. Next step. Deck. Okay, spirit. Give us additional confirmation to this message. Additional confirmation. Additional confirmation. Additional confirmation. Additional confirmation. Additional confirmation. That's some confirmation too. That crescendo of the music. Okay, these are the two cards that just fell out. All right, Temperance. This Temperance card is very near and dear to me because when I first started reading the Temperance card, I just thought, oh, it just represents balance. It does. It represents balance, but it also represents uh, transmuting energy. It also represents taking all of the aspects of your life and creating something new. And I just said that, like, it's time to create something new. The whole messiness of your life. So when you think about artists, and they paint with all these colors, you could pick up the colors, you can throw it on the wall, and you could create something beautiful. But just everything that has occurred in your life, good, bad, indifferent, it's time to take those things and create the life that you desire. That's what the temperance card means. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. The magician represents, manifesting and all of that. The temperance card, it really, to me, because there's one card where there's a lady and she has one foot in the ground and then one foot in the water, and just representing staying grounded, also listening to your emotions and your intuition, but allowing yourself to use all of what you have at your disposal to create something beautiful for yourself. So this is what this card means to me, and it is giving confirmation for this entire message. And if you notice, this card, this is a hermaphrodite, a male and female, representing the masculine and the feminine energy. Use all of that at your disposal. The feminine energy, the moon, represents intuition, and the sun represents action. And we were just, the message about it's time to take action, right? So use your intuition and take the correct action for your life to create the life that you desire. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. It is the time to create the life that you desire. And if you're still not sure how to do that, seek counsel. Find someone that you can talk to, someone that may mentor you, that you can trust, or go see a counselor to help. It's always okay to ask for help. The Page of Cups, I love this. Yes, when pigs fly. The Page of Cups represents you sitting, contemplating. You're in this beautiful energy of, oh, I want to have this idea. I want to do this. I want to do that. Right? Great. But the Page of Cups, because remember the pages in the deck, if you don't know this, pages in tarot deck, they represent a youthful energy. And a youthful energy, it can be good and it can be bad. Because as we know, they say life is wasted on the youth, because when we're young, we do all these crazy things. And when you get older, you're like, man, I wish I would have done this when I was younger, right? So the youthful energy is good to help catapult you in terms of you get inspired, right? But use your wisdom so that you can use that inspiration for a more intentional action, if that makes sense. So you have your wisdom to your disposal. And we started with this. You have your wisdom, your lessons learned to your disposal right now. Whatever that, no matter how old you are right now, if you're listening to this message, if you're still listening, right, that means that you have some experience and wisdom and lessons that can be useful to move you forward to create the life that you desire. I'm gonna keep saying it over and over and over again. To create the life that you desire. Oh man. The Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, she is very balanced. She knows how she knows she can recognize her emotions, um, how to access them for not just the things that she needs, but also for everyone around her. So, for those around you who don't know how to really handle and deal with their emotions, tap into this message and this energy so that you can be the example. So, people can look at you and say, man, how does he or she, or however you identify, how do they manage their emotions? How are they so cool and calm? And they bring this level of nurture and maturity. Because the spirit is saying, I've been there. I've done that, right? You've been there. You've done that. You don't have time for that anymore. You are now the master of your emotions, and you utilize your emotions, your intuition, and things like that so that you can create the life that you desire. Don't allow your emotions to control you. You work with it. And this is not about you controlling your emotions in a sense. You learn that they're going to always be there, and you learn how to work with it and not to allow yourself to get knocked down from your throne. Queen or king energy, or both, if you like, right? All right, so I'm not gonna push this message too much further, because I feel like um, it is already giving you what you needed, if that makes sense. This is the card I was going to look through my affirmation card, and this is one of the first ones that came up. So I create a joyful and fulfilling life. So utilizing the full moon's energy of illumination and highlighting things that you thought you healed, that you probably still. And also, I was gonna say, from my experience, I was like, why is this coming back around? It wasn't so much that I needed to go back and heal something. It was more of just an acknowledgement. It was illuminated. And it's like, okay, now what are you going to do with it? Right? Because I didn't feel broken. It was just like, what you going to do with it now? Where are we going from here? What are we going to do? It's right here. We spilled the milk. What are we going to do? Right? So that's what I picked up from it. Okay, so I did want to shout out Jessica from the Moody Tarot. And now she has a YouTube channel, the Moody Tarot, and she reads for Geminis. And she also, now she's started a jewelry company. It's called Ahone. And it's more than jewelry though. So I don't want to just say it's jewelry, but it's called Ahone, and I'm gonna put the information in the description box. And I did notice I didn't have some of my information in my other description boxes, but that's neither here nor there. Dr. T is learning the way of YouTube, okay? But if you like these, they're handmade, right? I love them. They're so beautiful, and I got 2 pair. So if you like these, check out her website, check out her channel. Even if you're not a Gemini, you can check out her channel. Um, and she says it in her introduction. She's like, if you vibe, you tribe, right? But as always, my intention is that this message it blesses you, and it helps you. Um, so with many blessings, I'm just so grateful that I'm able to use this space to come and give the message, to hopefully uplift and help you through whatever you're going through. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, thank you for joining me here in the Circuitry House.